Yeah.
Now, going through the Navy training as a female in air traffic control, were you the only female, or was it pretty divided?
Uh, no, it's very divided. My class started with, oh, I don't remember our starting numbers, but there was one other female with me in my class, and then she got pushed back several times. She eventually ended up graduating, and a few females would get pushed back into my class, but I was the only one to make it through that stayed with my class. Like I never got pushed back. So I was, I think, one of like eight, the one female, and then seven other men in my graduating class. And we go to training, we go to the same school, or Marines go to the same school as us. So there were like two Marines, five Navy guys.
Okay. So in that, did you experience any discrimination, anything like that, being female? Was it because
Um,
it's a male dominated military? I can tell you that.
yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, you get women get special treatment in the military even if you don't ask for it. And I remember there's beyond the testing, there's three phases that you have to go through in air traffic control school. And the first phase is just classroom and tests, and that's where you take like 12 tests in like a month. And then the second phase is for the tower. So I think when most people think of air traffic controllers, they think of the huge control tower that you see at an airport. So the first phase is that, and it's a simulator that you go in, and that's what people say is the hardest. And you get exposed to different instructors during that time. So you have one instructor that gets you through the classroom instruction, and then you switch instructors for, we call it block two. And we had a staff sergeant in the Marine Corps that was known for being a hothead, and you would make the smallest mistake and he would chew you out screaming. Like you would hear him down the hall. And oh, I think his name was Staff Sergeant Marshall, I think. And you just knew it was him. You would hear him yelling and be like, oh, there goes Staff Sergeant Marshall again. But he wouldn't yell at me, and I would make the same mistake as a dude next to me. And it was all men instructors, but our block like supervisor was a female chief, which is an E7. And I we like went back to our little lounge room for like a small break, and all these guys were like, man, Costlow, you don't get chewed out like we do. It's because something like it's because you're a woman. Or and I was like, I would kind of dish it back to them. I'd be like, well, maybe I'm just better than you, but I knew I wasn't. I was still messing up. So that evening, or I don't remember, we had some downtime. I talked to the female chief, and I was like, hey chief, I just want, would you mind talking to Staff Sergeant Marshall for me? Because I think like I can handle it. He can yell at me. I don't want him to think that he's gonna like make me cry, or if he's gonna yell at all of these men, he can yell at me too. And would you be able to talk to him for me? And she was like, yeah, that's really awesome that you said that. And I was like, I shouldn't have to say it. But so then the next day I messed up and he just ripped into me. And I was like holding back a smile because I was like, yeah, I'm finally getting the same treatment. And then we walked back in and they were like, about time you got chewed out. And I was like, yeah, I guess so.
I finally messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's what you told.
I did kind of notice it, and I didn't know how to bring it up. And I'm sure I called my parents or something to ask about it. Because my stepdad raised me like, if you deserve the same treatment as a man, like and you should never ask for special treatment because you're a woman or expect it. And so I think I did ask them for advice on like how to handle that situation. And then the guys in my class bringing it up to me was kind of the last straw. I was like, I am not going to get, like, when we go to graduate, y'all are going to look at me just like I did the same exact work that you guys did. And I don't want anyone to question that. So it was pretty even after that.